Once upon a time, I was a liberal. This is my walkaway story. How did I get here? I've been a long time Democrat my whole life. As minorities, you're pretty much told the Democratic Party is for the poor people and the Republican Party is for the rich white people. And as minorities, you kind of gravitate towards the Democratic Party anyway. So it was just something, that you just do. I was one of those people that would call Trump supporters racist. And looking back, I really don't know why I would call people a racist. In 2016, when Donald Trump won the presidency, I was devastated. I woke up my husband sobbing, not crying, sobbing, that I could not believe this country voted for a racist. I just could not believe it. I had a good friend say that just pray. You never know. He might do a good job. He may surprise you. I didn't pray, but I just remember those words. Fast forward to March 2020, pre-COVID, March 3rd or 2nd. I want to say it was 3rd. March 3rd was the primary in my state. I voted for Joe Biden. I know. I didn't know any better. So I voted for Biden in the primary. Not because I really wanted to. It was because I was not ever a Bernie supporter. That was not an option. I was never going to support Bernie. So that only left him. So that was the only reason why I voted for him. But I wasn't really enthusiastic about that choice. In my state, COVID shutdown started happening a little bit towards the end of March. Kind of like the 20s around there is kind of when they really started. I told my husband, the Democrats are going to use this till November. It's election year. They're going to use this to get the orange man out. Guaranteed. It's going to be till November. I don't think he actually believes me either. But I knew it. I knew they were going to use it and run with it and point and say, hey, it's all his fault. But what really bothered me the most is that how we've become collateral damage. Our lives don't matter. Businesses have shut down and they'll never come back. Small businesses will never come back. Healthcare, suicide rates are up. Children not learning. Domestic abuse on the rise, crime on the rise, child abuse, substance abuse, alcoholism. That's a funny thing too. Alcohol stores, our liquor stores are open, but mom and pops are closed. You have your grocery stores, you have Walmart, of course, Target, of course, open. But if this virus is so deadly, why are they open? But then you have other stores that are not. Why is it 6 feet? And not 2. Does the virus know math? We were told that masks don't work and being outside is good. And then all of a sudden, well, no, it's not. Well, which one is it? You started to follow the articles that said, about Bill Gates. He's not a scientist. He's not a medical doctor either. So why does his opinion matter? I questioned everything and I didn't like it, and I knew it was going down a sinister route that I didn't care about, of the fear tactics that they were using to manipulate us, which is a very sad part and the truth about it. A couple of months go by and the George Floyd, death happens. And we could all agree, and I think we all united and were a unison when we all saw what the police officer did to George Floyd. My issue was what happened afterwards, the destruction and the civil unrest that happened. I was actually very confused because I said, well, why is this country burning down? Why are all these looting happening and riots happening when it didn't happen in our city? It happened in a different state, in a different city. I was confused about that. you have thousands, especially in the city where I live, it's a Democratic run city, and they had festival-sized rallies in City Hall. Chief of police holding babies, kissing babies, no face masks, no distancing. Pastors, the mayor, public officials, all there participating and encouraging this in this behavior. The very same people that have been telling us to fear this virus, to stay home. We can't go to work. We can't conduct business because of this virus. But yet, this is okay. This is when I realized this wasn't right. This wasn't right. Then they go on their Biden tour and support of Biden. This is when I knew, oh, this is a game. This is a political game. You're using the American people to get into political power. Disgusting to me. After that, a few weeks later, Donald Trump had a campaign rally in Oklahoma outside. The news went crazy. He doesn't care about the American people. He doesn't care about this virus. I was like, hold on. We have been having riots this whole time and festival-sized protests this whole time. And no one is saying a word about how that is irresponsible and how that, no, you don't care about the American people there. But now Trump doesn't care about anybody. I was like, this is so hypocritical. The hypocrisy of this party was just, I couldn't believe it anymore. I was sick of it. It was making me sick to my stomach. And people were actually believing it. One night I was watching YouTube exercise videos, just home videos, different things I can do to, lose a little bit of weight for COVID. The COVID weight has been a little real. So I was just looking at videos on how to do that, being at home. And I saw a video popped up. I think it's like a godsend now that I think about it. It was Officer Brandon Tatum's video. It's called I'm Done, and it has a sign, BLM. I thought that was very interesting. So I clicked on it. And when I clicked on it, everything that he said, I was in agreement with. I said, yes, I was shaking my head and everything he was saying. I was like, wow. And what I found more interesting was that he's a Black conservative talking about this. It was amazing to me. The next video that popped up was his video of why I left the Democratic Party. And that video was amazing. And it was amazing. And then he brought up an occurrence that happened to him. And when he brought up that occurrence, I actually remember that occurrence. I told my husband back then, with Obama, he referenced something about the Obama administration. And I remember referencing that and telling my husband back then when it was actually happening in real time, exactly what he said, which was pretty amazing. It became like a rabbit hole for me. I started to binge watch all his videos, and then I saw Diamond and Silk and the twins and Candace Owens. Oh my gosh, I love her. She's a boss. Brandon Strock, a gay liberal man who walks away. Like, wow, we can think for ourselves. We don't have to be doing this. It is okay. And I had this aha moment, this real red pill moment where I was doing all this and reading this, and I just, one day, I'm not a Democrat anymore. I can't support this party. They've been hijacked. This is not the same Democratic Party that I worked for. This isn't the same Democratic Party, even in 2016 for that matter. It just isn't. And that's when I realized, when I told myself that I'm not a Democrat. And I started looking at everything with Trump. I started researching him. finding articles about him and, you know, is he racist? And I actually looked at the whole clip, not just bits and pieces of what the news does, but the whole entire clip. I looked at it, read it, and you're like, wow, CNN has been lying. MSNBC, even the news. I don't even watch the news anymore because it isn't news. It's like TMZ, it's clickbait. All they want you to do is click. They care about ratings. Click. They don't care about the truth. They care about ratings because that's what sells. And I just remember thinking, I'm not that anymore. And I found a quote from Ronald Reagan, and what he said, I didn't leave the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party left me. And that is exactly how I feel. I started to do my research in Trump. And when I told my husband, this is it, I'm voting for Trump. This is not the guy this isn't the guy I thought he was in 2016. My eyes were open. And he said, I cannot believe you're uttering those words. And sometimes to this day, guys, I'm going to be honest, I still am shocked and can't believe how far I've come. You know, I used to hate people with guns, and now I'm over here gun-toting person. I can't wait to get my AR-15 this next week. And I mean, it's just, I've done a 180, and I just realized the truth. And that fake news is actually real. I didn't believe it. I thought it was something Trump made up, but it's the truth. It's true. And this election is about freedom and what we want and what this country is and what it stands for. And I choose freedom. And that is exactly what I want and what I'm fighting for. I will vote in person. I don't care if there's a hurricane, tropical storm, if there is flood waters. I will get to that polling location and vote for the very first time for a president with an R next to their name. And that name is Donald J. Trump is who I will be voting for in 2020. Thank you. That's my story.